guys. This is your host, LaChocolateBox for DPTV Networks and the Box Exchange. Long hailed as one of TV's premier television shows for African Americans. Y'all know that was that go-to show that we all saw back in the 70s, Good Times. Well, I have here Miss Bern Nadette Stanis, who played the TV good girl, Miss Thelma. Now, everybody wanted to be Thelma back in the day. I mean, from the Afro pop to the sassy attitude, we all had a brother that we smack up against the head.
That's right.
Yes, yes. And from what I understand, when we had a pre-interview, that whole smacking of the head, that was something that you came up with. Is that correct?
It was.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
that's how we treat our brothers.
Yes, we do, because they're annoying.
Yes.
You know, and this is what happens. When you're in a household full of girls and boys and just a lot of kids in general, and I kind of grew up like that family, things happen. There's no tolerance when you have a teeny tiny little bit of space to kind of deal with. Yes.
Absolutely.
But you know what? You're more than just Thelma. I know a lot of people just refer to you as, oh, we know who you are, and you're going to live with that name for the rest of your life. But your personality, you have blossomed into such a beautiful woman, a classy, inspirational role model for everyone.
Thank you.
So, you know, we're going to talk about role models.
Okay.
So I know that one of your role models was Miss Esther Rolle.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
She was more like a mother off the screen as well as on the screen.
Okay.
Learned a lot of lessons from her.
Right.
You know, and she was a very, very no nonsense type of woman.
Okay.
You know, so I learned a lot from her, and but she was very loving, very funny, allowed me to be me.
Okay.
You know, no criticisms like that. Just, you know, always guidance.
Right. Mm-hmm. I understand that you said off the screen, so you spent a lot of time with her.
Yeah.
What is like that one lesson that you learned from Miss Esther Rolle that carried you throughout your life?
Well, there were so many lessons. Let me see. One in particular, which is what I put in one of my books, you'll be reading that soon, is the lesson about being late. Okay, so Esther Rolle lived like around the corner from me. Mm-hmm. I wasn't driving at the time, but she was. This is when the show first started. Okay. So she used to pick me up to go to work every day, and we had to be to work at 10. So every single day she said, okay, be downstairs at 9:30. Mm-hmm. But I was always late. I mean, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50. It got to 15 minutes. Okay. And she was waiting for me.
This is what young girls do.
Yeah,
we got to get ready and get cute.
You know. And so I'm not realizing that it's going to take about 25 minutes to get to work. Anyway, she says to me, Bernadette, if you're late tomorrow, I'm going to leave you. I'm like, oh, Mom, get out of here. You're not going to leave me. I know you're not going to leave me. And I just went on about my business. And for some reason that day, I was really trying to be there at 9:30. Mm-hmm. But you know how when you try so hard to do something, it just like everything gets in your way? Right. I was late like 2-3 minutes. And I knew after that 9:30 she was going to leave me. And I went downstairs and I went, oh, I'm just 3 minutes late. And she was gone. See, that's what I'm talking about. She left me. You had to learn that lesson. It was hard because I didn't get to work till like 1 o'clock. Now, because in LA, you can't get a ride that easily. No, and I understand that traffic is hellish. I hate to go there. It's awful. It's crazy. It's and when I got it to work, she looked at me. She went, I went. Now, I was never late again. Let's go just a little bit further into that. In your opinion, with regards to role models in African American, I guess, youth, more so women, because those are the people that actually look up to you. What would you say is missing in some of the role models we see in today's TV reality stars or actors, actresses, entertainers, that sort of thing? Well, it's a different culture. It's a different time. I understand that. But there's sort of like no regard for, you know, children or young women or men that are looking up to you. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, this is what I do, you know. And I think that as a star or an entertainer, you do have some responsibility to that. That is true. That is true. And you know what? I'm going to segue into this. I was telling my mom, Miss Phyllis. I was telling her that, you know, we got the opportunity, or we were going to get the opportunity to interview you. And one of the things she said, and I'm telling you, this is the honest to goodness truth. She said, you know, I've never heard anything bad about her in the news. She said, you hear about some of these stars who are out there twerking or, you know, half naked on the red carpet or, you know, brawling in the clubs, drunken. And she said, I've never heard anything about that woman. She said, so I really do. She said, good luck with everything and tell her I said hello. Okay. But my mom really said this. And you know what? I thought about it. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's true. And it's really sad that nowadays that you actually have to have that in order to stay relevant.
Yeah. You do, because of all the social media, and they want more and more and more.
That's true.
So if you're not doing something, you know, sensational, it's like, well, you're boring.
That's true.
You know, so I guess I'm a little boring.
No, you know what you are? Let me tell you, you're timeless, because there is a difference between relevant and timeless, because timeless is infinite, but relevant could be for now, this month, the next 5 years, and then it's gone. No one cares anymore. You know, I always say, and this is like one mantra that I live by, I think that right now, in this day and age, the world is ready for a change.
Yeah.
I think that they'd rather see a 500-pound gay man on their red carpet than the typical video girl, because we're just tired of seeing it. We want personality, and that's what you have. That's what you have. I think you're such a sweetheart. I had the opportunity, everyone, to speak with Ms. Stanis previously, and I'm telling you, genuine. That's the word that I definitely come up with. I mean, first thing that comes to mind. Absolutely. Now, as I said, I know that you've been doing some things. Obviously, it's been so long, but you've been active. Yeah. And you wrote a book. Yeah. And let me just quote, the book is called Situations 101, an up-close focus on relationship drama. So how did you come up with that idea?
Well, you know, throughout the years, I have become like a big sister to a lot of people, men and women. And to this very day, I get calls, and they'll tell me about their loved one, or their guy, their girl, and ask my opinion about it. And I'll give them my opinion about it. And so I'm still doing that same work. Still, but what it was is like I sort of guide in relationships and you know, help them. That's all I can say. So I heard a lot of situations, many situations. So in this book, these are all real situations that I've heard, and the responses I really did give them. So, you know, I thought one day that it would be good to write down a few pointers. So I said, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to write some things down for you, so that you could put it on your refrigerator. So in the middle of the night, you feel like you want to call somebody, just walk to your refrigerator and read those little things. It'll help you till the morning comes. And if it doesn't, do like most of us do. Open the refrigerator and eat something.
Hello. How about that one?
Make you feel better.
How about that one? And I can completely see you giving out advice, because your words and your demeanor, you're so eloquent with your words. You know, very cultured and thought provocative, very, very genuine, and I think that people appreciate that. Now, I actually kind of skimmed through the book a little bit, you know. Once again, y'all gonna have to pick this book up, because it's very, very interesting. It's not your typical, hey, this is me, this is what I did for the last 20 years, blah, 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 blah. Absolutely not. These situations, I think, can apply to almost anyone. I read just you know, just the titles, just some of the situations, just some of, you know, and I'm thinking I can relate to almost any of them. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to come right back. Once again, this is LaChocolateBox with the Box Exchange. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Once again, this is your host, LaChocolateBox with The Box Exchange. I'm here with DPTV Networks. And in honor of Black History Month, we are featuring Miss Bern Nadette Stanis. Once again, if you guys don't recognize her, Thelma from Good Times, still with the beautiful face, beautiful smile. Yeah, so when we ended the last segment, we were talking about Situations 101. Yes. And I was saying that I actually went through the book, and there were some situations that I thought were very, very, very interesting. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna go through the book. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna read a few things for you guys. If you have not already, I think you should know. Once again, I had mentioned that this is not the sort of book where you have a celebrity like Miss Stanis, who's writing about their life and their goals and that sort of thing. And we like to hear about that. But what we really want to hear is about real life and how that celebrity's life is very similar to ours. And Ms. Stanis was just telling us about how some of these situations came from real life experiences of either herself, friends, associates, that sort of thing. And I'm telling you, every single one of the 101, I've heard every single solitary one.
I mean, we have 101 of them in there.
Yes, there is 101 situations where Ms. Stanis kind of lays out the situation and as well gives some advice. So I'm looking at the condom complainer. So I'm assuming that this has a little bit to do with some brothers that may or may not want to go there, and with today's era of safe sex. You know, that's definitely an issue.
Absolutely.
That's definitely an issue.
It's an issue, and it's respect. I think it's respect if you do use the condom, because, you know, especially if the partner is sort of new, because we don't know where you've been, and they, you know, or where she's been. So I think it's etiquette and decency when you just put the condom on and just, you know, do it that way. As you get to know each other better, then maybe things will change. But I think that's respect. Right.
Absolutely. I'm looking, he stopped calling right after sex. Let's go there.
That's a sad one.
His cell phone called my phone number. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've had that happen before. I've had that happen in what we most of the time call is a butt dial. Someone call you and then there's empty space. But you know what women do? It could be 3 minutes of empty space or so. We listen to that entire message to see if we can hear something in the background.
Everything.
Who we talking to?
Or the
What's
air, where are they sitting?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Where are you?
Yes.
Like,
you know, and sometimes something like that could be real minor, because look, keep it honest. If someone butt dials you, most of the time, because you're the last person they called.
Of course.
You know, it's not that they're doing anything, but I'm just saying.
In this situation, they were doing something.
Oh boy, see, that's what I'm saying.
Messy.
Oh my goodness, always messy. Let's see. He won't ask if I'm married, is he?
Well, most times when they don't ask that, they are. Then we just talk about everything around the subject except marriage.
Now, what about the one, my boyfriend has a revolving head?
Well, that's very interesting, because while he was when they go down the street and he's with his girlfriend, you know, he's looking at everything that passes. I mean, it's like hoping that she doesn't see it, maybe.
Right.
But he's like, you know, and it's very disrespectful.
Right.
Now, you know, when he's home, he's looking at her, but when he's in the street, he's disrespectful. And she had to tell him that I think that's very disrespectful. Well, don't mean anything. Where? Who? I didn't even see her. Right. I was just looking over there. You know, kind of stop it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
Show respect.
I totally agree with you. I mean, I actually dated someone one time who actually had that. And in the situation I said was, look, I'm going to be a realist. There's beautiful women everywhere. I can't even knock you for looking at them. If I were a guy, I might look at them too. All I'm saying is respect. If I'm standing right next to you, I mean, you can do that when you're in the street with your friends.
That's what we talk about. You know, we do it anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. I always say as women, we need 3 seconds. That's it. We're like, that's it. But you're like, you can tell if the suit was expensive, if the shoes were nice, clean shape. 3 seconds, ladies, that's all we need, and we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Before you even know, we already back here with you, right? Right, so respect. It's just called the respect thing.
They don't get that quite. They just have to take a long time. Look, turn, big old turn in the head. Stop it.
Oh, I can't. If I am a nut, why are you at my door?
Right.
Okay.
Well, he thinks that she's crazy. She's a nut. Talks about her badly. But he's always at her door.
I'm just saying. Come on.
So what is that?
Calling us crazy.
Stop it.
I think sometimes women are intense.
You know what I think? I think that the men today are they jump off into a frenzy a little too fast.
Right.
You know, like say if a lady says something about the fact that you didn't call her, or you're not attentive anymore, and she gets a little upset or angry about that, she may text you or call you and say it about that, and then you want to say, or you want to jump off and say, well, that's it, I'm done. It's over, you know.
Exactly.
Because you know you can get another one that quick, maybe. I don't know what it is, but I just think that in any relationship you should give respect to the other person and their feelings. And if you want to cut it off, you can do that.
Exactly.
But do it respectfully. I just think everybody should be treated with respect.
I completely agree.
No matter what level the relationship is on.
Oh my goodness. I'm looking at this one. I'm not sure who the father is.
That was very, very interesting. this girl came to me, and she was breaking up with her boyfriend. So she went with the ex-boyfriend. Okay. So she, in 1 month, she had both men. So she got pregnant, but she didn't know who the baby was for. So the whole 9 months, she's carrying a baby that she doesn't know. Is it for the man that I love or for the man that I really don't love, but was just there? But it ended up being for the man she loved. She was very lucky. But that was a horrible time for her to carry the baby for 9 months and not know what was going on.
It must have been. I mean, and that's a situation.
I'm sure you can probably get a DNA, I don't know, but these days, but you know, she didn't do that. She was just worried, sick.
It is insane how much that type of situation is plaguing our society today. And to me, that goes right back to the whole role model aspect.
Well, it goes back to learning how to do things, knowledge, wisdom, understanding of things. And a lot of times that is not passed on to our young women. And the first thing you should know is that in 1 month, you should only have one man.
Give yourself some breathing room.
One man a month now. Stop.
I'm just saying. I mean, come on, man. I'm saying.
You know who the daddy is.
You know, give yourself a break. Love yourself. I mean, take some time out.
Well,
I hear it all the time from different people. I can't believe you're single, and it must be something wrong with you. I hear that a lot too, and I'm thinking, everybody has a period of time when they are single, and it's nothing wrong. Some of the most beautiful women and most handsome men in Hollywood have a time period when they're single.
I want to share something with you.
Please tell me.
When I was a young woman, before I was married, when I was dating, you know, I said something. This was like in the 70s, you guys. So something crossed my mind. It was crazy. Because I'm a celebrity, and because in Hollywood there were not a lot of men, you know, that I could pick from like that back then in those days. I said this to a friend of mine. I said, you know, they should have something where, you know, you could pick a guy, or you can, you know, get numbers, everybody can get that, and you can pick who you want, and you can call them and things like that. They should have something like that. She said, oh my God, what? What are you thinking?
Wow.
I went, yeah, what am I thinking? That's crazy.
Exactly.
But look at what we're doing today.
Exactly.
We didn't have that then.
No.
You know?
No. Oh, there's so many different dating sites that are dedicated to matching people up. It is very interesting.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder. I mean, do you really need that, or do you take your chances with just anyone in the street?
Well, it's scary.
It is
now
scary.
It's very scary. And it's scary either way.
Either way.
Either way, it's scary. So you just have to be lucky, or, you know, intuitive and cautious, I think.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah, I think so. And I do think that it's nice if you meet a guy, for them to meet another member of your family, maybe, so that you can get a second opinion or something. You know, because sometimes girlfriends, they see it the way you see it.
Right.
You know, oh yeah, he's cute, girl.
Oh,
That's it. But, you know, family, they're looking, they know you. So they're looking, oh no, there's something wrong with that one. Or something, yeah.
Miss Bernadette, you up here just completely, I'm saying, but I can actually see how you developed into this go-to person for advice. You know, I can definitely see that. That is so wonderful.
I enjoyed that.
Oh my goodness. Now, you know what? Do you have any future books in the making of this kind or other?
Well, I'm going to go back to this after the book that I'm writing now comes out. It's called The Last Night, A Caregiver's Journey from Transition and Beyond. Because it talks about basically my caregiving of my mother and my father.
Wow.
It talks about my grandparents, my parents, us growing up in Brownsville, my siblings, my nieces and nephews. It talks about a relationship and who my mother was, who my father was. And so that when I tell you their life story, what happened to them, why it happened, you can understand who these people are and you can relate to it. And my mother caught, you don't catch it, but my mother got Alzheimer's exactly about 10 years after my father died. And in between that, she had Parkinson's.
Oh, wow.
And that led to the Alzheimer's.
Right.
Yeah, because you can get it that way.
Did you feel that, I mean, you being the caregiver, were you assigned that task because you were the oldest of 5 children, is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, were you just assigned that task, or did you just take it on because you were the makeshift matriarch of the family now?
No, actually, they all knew that I was going to be the one to take care of Mommy if anything ever happened.
Okay.
Because that's who she wanted to be with me,
Gotcha.
you know.
Okay.
And she said it, everybody knew it, was fine. They were great with that.
Right.
No problem. You know, but I was the caregiver. They were back east, and I had to bring my mother to California. So I was the primary caregiver.
Right.
But each and every one of my brothers and sisters, they cared for her in their way.
Okay.
You see, I'm the hands-on care, but they did their own way of caregiving to her. You know what I'm saying? So that was acceptable by me.
That is such an amazing story. Now, we're going to touch on that. We're going to come back, take a real quick break. We'll be right back with Miss Bern Nadette Stanis. Welcome back. This is your host, LaChocolateBox with the Box Exchange, and we're here talking to Miss Bern Nadette Stanis. And in the last segment, we were talking about your book project as well, where you were talking about being a caregiver for both your mother and your father, and then ultimately your mother. Yes. Yes. So you were saying that she came down with
Alzheimer's about 10 years after my father. Right. My father was murdered. And that was a shock to her. So I'm writing a lot of different things in the book so that maybe we can find out what causes Alzheimer's.
Yeah, triggers.
You know, what triggers it? Yeah. Is it in our diet? Is it in our worrying? Is it, what is it? And so that's why I bring all these things out so we can talk about it and discuss it. And a lot of people say that trauma has caused Alzheimer's to come on to certain people. Right. And so I'm just looking for an answer. We don't know if it's hereditary.
Now, you did mention earlier that some of your research led you into, I guess, discovering that African Americans come down with this more so than any other race.
That's true. We get it twice as much as anybody gets it.
Wow.
And the females staggering. Even more.
Okay.
And they're thinking that it might be diabetes 3.
Okay. Wow.
Diabetes of the brain.
Yeah. Diabetes of the brain?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Wow,
I read
that is amazing.
That. Yeah. So we're breaking through, you know, and there are some things like turmeric, seasoning, just a plain Indian spice called turmeric that you can get at the grocery store to use it in your foods because East Indians, they get this disease the least. Okay. So and they think it's because of the curry. Okay. Also, coconut oil is very good for, you know, focusing. Let me see what else. Aluminum foil should not be used. And African Americans use it more than anyone because it's cheap to cook with, and it's also cheap to store your foods. And those are the things that the aluminum is getting into our system. And because the foods break down the aluminum, when you take the aluminum off, you'll see the brown inside. That's broken down aluminum. It gets into your food, and it gets into your body, and we cannot digest aluminum. So it goes to the brain.
And how many times I've known so many people that line their baking pans with aluminum to make it easier to clean up.
Sure.
Who would have known that?
Yeah, no aluminum foil. What we should cook with is cast iron pots. Okay. And bake in Pyrex dishes, but just no aluminum whatsoever.
That is amazing. Yeah. I mean, who could have possibly known that? Wow, I can't wait for that. When do you anticipate this book coming out?
It should be out in about a month. I have about another week and a half maybe to finish and tie it up, get it to the editors, and then we'll be done.
Do you have a title for that you want to mention so we can look for it, or are you still mulling over that?
No, that's The Last Night, A Caregiver's Journey. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Guys, look for that. Speaking of which, so if someone wanted to buy 101 Situations, where could they find that?
They can go to my website, thelmaofgoodtimes.com. You can order it there. I will sign it and autograph it for you, and we'll ship it right out to you.
Yes. And I love this cover picture.
Oh, thank you.
So that's thelmaofgoodtimes.com. Correct?
Yes.
Social media? Do you have any social media?
Yes, I have Facebook. It's Bern Nadette Stanis. Also, my Instagram is Thelma Good Times.
Okay.
I think it is. Is it? It's Thelma of Good Times.
Thelma of Good Times.
My Twitter is Thelma Good Times.
Okay.
So you'll find me all up in there.
I'm just saying. You'll see it. Oh, they can't miss you. You have some fans out there, Mama, I have to tell you.
Thank
you. You know, there's certain, actors and actresses that we're saying you like last year, now, 50 years from now, and when she's 120, you are that icon, you know. Dare I say the Marilyn Monroe, the Princess Di of the Black community. No, you didn't know that. No. I'm trying to tell you. Wow, I'm trying to tell you. Nice. Yes, I'm trying to tell you. You are that for us. Now, if, let's say a young person were to approach you on, hey, I want to become an actor or actress, or I want to become a writer, what information could you give them about dealing with this industry? It's cutthroat right now.
Yeah, right now, you're right. It's cutthroat right now. Right. Because for me, what I'm noticing is that, you know, acting is a skill. Right. You know, I went to Juilliard, so I studied acting. I know all about that thing, you know what I mean? And so I would say if you want to become an actor or an actress, study the craft, because it is a craft. And you're right, around this time in society, Black actors and actresses, especially for actresses, a lot of times they're not trained actresses. That's true. But they're still treated as if they're trained. You know, they're getting the parts, or they're, you know, doing reality. And you know, I don't think it's in favor of us a lot of times. No. But this is what is going on. So I don't know if this is a fad or if it will continue or whatever. But I do think that if you want to act, go to school and learn the craft. Learn the craft from the bottom up. Learn it from the inside out. That's right. You know, understand it. Yes, understand it, because it is a skill to be able to cry on a dime, to be able to, if you're doing a play, to be able to do the same emotion at the same point every night. It's a skill. Yep. It's not just haphazard. It shouldn't be anyway. Okay. So training is the key. Yes, it is. Ms. Stanis, we had such a lovely time. Hopefully we can have you back when you have another book and that sort of thing. Thank you so much. We are so honored here at DPTV. Once again, this is your host, LaChocolateBox. This is the Box Exchange. Miss Bern Nadette Stanis, the beautiful lady. I don't even want to sit next to you. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, you're beautiful. She's beautiful. Once again, this is senior host and correspondent LaChocolateBox here at the Box Exchange, where conversation in general with industry greats is our standard. Thank you. Have a good night.